All right. So everything has started as far as recording. So good morning and welcome. Bonjour, Kwe, Atalahai. Welcome to everyone to our monthly entrepreneur coffee break. My name is Carol Spicer and I'm the owner of Spicer Facilitation. I'm very pleased to be with you and having you join us here today. A few of us were just chatting. It's been a while. It's been June was our last session. It seems like it's been much longer than that. So I think we all kind of miss the opportunity to connect sometimes. So very pleased to kind of bring back our monthly coffee break. This is your community. It's for an opportunity for entrepreneurs to connect. And for those that haven't been on here before, just to kind of let you know where this evolved from, there was research done through Grenfell and I think a professor over in Dalhousie as well, that the entrepreneur ecosystem, which was something I didn't even know existed until I became an entrepreneur, thrives when entrepreneurs get to talk to one another. And as I just mentioned, we don't always get an opportunity to physically, drive somewhere and connect with people. Although I'm loving Cafe 59 in Pasadena. If anybody hasn't been there, it's a great place to connect and have coffee. Sharon, I think, has her own table there. She's quite the regular. But it's, to give us an opportunity to connect, share, look at ideas, challenges, successes. One thing I will tell any new entrepreneur that I've been meeting is there are a ton of people who want you to thrive. And that's been so rewarding. You're not cutthroat against somebody else. Somebody wants to help you in any way that they can, from an introduction to purchasing your products or services to promoting you, sharing you on social media. It's a great space to be. So I'm really happy to be able to provide this virtual opportunity for everyone to come together and connect. And so that's kind of where this has evolved. And we're actually we're going to be heading into our 4th year very shortly. So we've been doing this for quite some time now, which is awesome. So for the benefit of our guest speakers today, I'm going to run down through the list and ask folks to introduce yourselves and say maybe just a little bit about who you are. We'll ask you to let us know where you're joining from. That's just a quirky thing that I always like to know. So I'm joining from Pasadena. I am going to take a moment to acknowledge that Pasadena is in the unceded territory of the ancient Beothuk. And I ask you to join me in acknowledging with respect the diverse cultures and traditions of all Indigenous people. In our province, it's the Beothuk, the Mi'kmaq, the Inuit, the Innu, and the Southern Labrador Inuit. And so I ask you to join me in that. So I'm going to skip over our sponsor folks, but I'm going to run down through the list. So I'm going to take alphabetically by first name. So Andrea, you're up first, and then it's going to be Andrew.
I'm Andrea. I just recently took over Gifts of Joy in Pasadena, which is right next to the lovely Cafe 59. I frequently visit there a lot. It's great. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm new to business. I do not have a business background, so I love these opportunities to come to these meetings and learn.
Excellent.
And I'm joining from Corner Brook, but from Pasadena. Well, sorry, yeah. I live in Pasadena.
Originally, can you say new though? Can you still say new, Andrea? It's been a while now, hasn't it?
Well, not quite a year yet. It was February that I took it over, so.
Oh, okay. All right.
I guess that's still new.
That's still new. I'll give you that. Yeah. I was thinking it was closer to a year. Wow. Okay. Awesome. Andrew, you're up, and then it will be Brennan.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew Hibbets, and I'm an Economic Development Officer for the West Coast with Horizon TNL, formerly known as REDE TNL. We're a bilingual economic development organization, and I guess it's a fairly broad mandate, but the points I'd like to highlight today is that we help Francophone job seekers and entrepreneurs, but also employers with their recruitment needs. So for example, the employer wouldn't necessarily have to speak English, but if they needed to hire bilingual candidates, they could reach out to us for their employment needs. So just something to keep in mind in case anybody out there, could avail of that. And yeah, that's about it for me.
Awesome. Thank you, Mercy. We did a session with REDE Horizon. I think, you might have been Horizon when we did it. It was interesting. It's the session's recorded on my social media. impact that having a bilingual employee can have on your business and the potential markets that could open. We tend not to think of that unless you're out where Andrew is, where there is a francophone, stronger presence. Those of us kind of outside of those traditional francophone areas probably don't realize the potential that could do to our business to be able to offer services. I know I've been asked if I deliver training in French and say beaucoup d'années depuis je parle français. So it's been a long time since I spoke French. I don't know that I could do a training session in French, but it's something to consider. So thank you, Andrew. Always happy to have you on board. Brennan, so long we haven't seen each other, about 12 hours or so, 24 hours.
Yeah, definitely. We're the coffee break duo because Navigate has an in-person one, and then it's fun to join the virtual one here. So I'm with Navigate, which is a entrepreneurship support center that is kind of linked with Grenfell campus and CNA, but we help aspiring entrepreneurs of any sector, any location. We are based in Corner Brook, which is where I am today, and yeah, doing cool stuff with Spicer facilitation and a number of other folks in the group today. So nice to see you all.
Excellent. Thank you, Brennan. One thing that I will mention for Navigate, the co-working space and the common space that they have. So they may not have the sweet treats of Cafe 59, but they got beautiful comfy chairs and beautiful windows to look out over. If you're in Corner Brook, you can pop in and I've done it several times where between meetings, just pop open the computer and grab a couple things and have a nice space to park. And if you're at the Center for Research and Innovation, it's a lot easier to park than the college or the university. Just saying, better parking there. Kelly, up to you, and then Sharon.
I'm Kelly Lannon, and I'm wearing two hats. One is my WRDC, Women in Resource Development hat. I am a career development practitioner with WRDC. And my second hat is I am in the very beginning stages of opening the Bees Knees Events and Marketing. So if you have an event or you want something marketed, let me know.
Awesome.
And I'm coming from Pasadena.
Excellent. Thank you. And Sharon. Saw her there a minute ago.
You're on mute, Sharon.
Oh my gracious, you missed my beautiful intro. Hi, I'm Sharon Evans. I'm in Pasadena and I'm owner operator of Siva Meditation. I went to the coffee break yesterday. I was just sending a thank you out to Navigate for hosting that yesterday. My friend and colleague messaged a number of people yesterday to see if we were going. And so I was so thankful for it. Was a last minute thing, but it's always great to have these events where you get to mingle and network and have some sweet treats. And every time, I was going to say, Andrea, every time I'm at Cafe 59, I always manage to swing by Gifts of Joy. Thank you, Carol. Namaste,
Thank you.
everybody.
And Edwina, somehow I missed your E in between all of these alphabetical thing I was writing down. So Edwina, if you want to say hello.
I know, and I'm also B, so depending on which one you were
I
going
know.
with. Joining you from Port aux Basques, everyone. Nice to see you. Port aux Basques was well known as the fairy town. Now it's the Fiona town. So sad to say, but we're still dealing with a lot of Fiona repercussions and issues as a result of almost a year anniversary. So it's been a lot of difficult times out here, and it's creating a lot of busy times for me because in addition to my business, I'm also an avid volunteer, and one of my volunteer roles is helping with the Fiona recovery. So just thought I'd throw that out there. Fiona Town is still in a mess. Just finished dealing with some serious issues, and we still got more to come. So it never seems to be ending here. In addition, I just want to throw it out there, a little marketing for my business. My business name is Avail HR Training Solutions. I think I'm into year 7 now, so that'll tell you when you're not even sure what year you're in. So, doing very well. I'm very pleased with the way my business has gone, and have a number of clients in Corner Brook and actually all over the island. And Kelly, if you could put your information in the chat, I would really appreciate it, because I do have an event coming up, a training event that would be open enrollment. So if you don't mind, I would appreciate if you could market it. Nice to see some familiar faces. I see some new ones there, and looking forward to this today.
Excellent. Thank you. I've been thinking of you, Edwina. They're doing some retrospective and updates on the news about Fiona. It's hard to believe it's a year this week. Coming up to that, and your community's been very fortunate in the role that you've played. You've been a very strong supporter of your community, and I know they're blessed to have you in the role that you've been. So awesome.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Getting a lot of media requests now, of course, with the anniversary. It's just, I've been bombarded with media requests. Everybody wants to, what's happening in the year anniversary. So, oh my goodness, so time consuming. But giving me, lots to think about, and a lot of challenges. So all goes with business and more experience.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. It's absolutely amazing when you look around the world. I don't mean amazing as in positive, but when you look at all the natural disasters that have been happening in so many different parts of the world, it's overwhelming sometimes to think about the recovery. The instant that it happens, and the short term, but that long term effect. And I know I've spoken to people in Port aux Basques, and just the relationship with the ocean has changed, and that to me is such a powerful thing when we're an island in the ocean, and we all have such a strong connection to that, and to realize that people are now scared when they hear things happening beside the ocean, and it's kind of disheartening.
It is. It's very sad. Our community has changed, and I'm afraid to say forever. Things will never be the same here. A lot of anxiety and a lot of emotional things that are happening in so many different respects. And it is very sad, but we'll get through it, hopefully in time. Hopefully in time.
That's one thing I do know about our province, is we're resilient. So I know that'll work. One thing I want to mention, just kind of on that note, and then we're going to shift over to the conversation for today. I listened to a webinar yesterday, recorded webinar, because I was down at Brennan's event, so I didn't get a chance to attend it. This week is Wellbeing Week. Government has launched a Wellbeing Week, and it is about awareness of what the social determinants of well-being are. And it's really interesting because housing and security and food security, it's not all about health outcomes. It's about all those social wraparound services and things that are happening. So I did share it on my social media. It's also on Community Sector Council of Newfoundland Labrador. They're the ones that hosted the event. It had Dr. Fitzgerald and Dr. Parfrey on it. Was quite an interesting webinar. But it also made me think about this morning that this coffee break is a community. It's about inclusion. It's about everyone's welcome here. It's a social. We just talked about, several of us, hey, we haven't seen each other for a while. We haven't done this for a while. So in some small way, I do think that this opportunity to bring people together does help us. I think of, Edwina down in Port aux Basques doesn't get to drive in and see somebody. Now she gets to kind of connect and have that social interaction. I think of Kelly starting a new business and now having an opportunity to be in those early stages of excitement and share with us and so on. So anyway, I just thought it was kind of a personal reflection today, but it is Wellbeing Week, so let's try to think of those things that may help us with our own personal well-being. So today it is my pleasure to introduce the folks from Scotiabank, and very pleased and thankful for them for sponsoring this month's coffee break. So we've got several folks. So let's, I don't know how you folks want to do it. Heather, maybe you start, then Ashley. I'm going to run down. You guys came in last name, so you're going to be alphabetical by last name.
Hi guys, I'm Heather Bennett. I'm a small business advisor here at the Scotia Bank. We enjoy working with business owners and help them making their banking easy, make the money, save the money, and guide them in the right direction. I've been here for a little over almost a year and a half going on now. I love my job and working with my colleagues. Yeah, so we're excited to be here for coffee break. I'm going to pass it on now to Ashley, our Hall, our manager.
Yep. Awesome. Heather used to be a neighbor of mine. You see her kids going to the school bus on my driveway.
Lots of Pasadena people on this call, actually.
Yeah,
Hi,
there
Sharon.
are. Ashley.
Hello, everyone. Super excited to be here. Thank you so much for having us. This is, I think, well, I'll say my second call. The first one was sort of postponed, but I'm so happy to be here and to see all of you and get to meet you virtually. Again, I'm the branch manager here in Scotiabank. My camera stopped here in Corner Brook Plaza. And I just passed my 3.5 year marker with what I think is probably the best team that I've had the pleasure to manage in my 15 years with the bank. I'm very happy to also say that we have, Heather Bennett and who you'll meet shortly, Ian Martin, as what we call boots on the ground for our small business clients. We are regularly onboarding new small business clients, helping them meet their small business goals, and it's a deep part of my background as well, being a past small business advisor. So again, super excited to be here with you today, and we will drop our contacts into chat just in case we can, be of any type of service, whether it be advice or anything that you would need as far as small business. We even help customers, point them in the right direction for funding. So there's lots to be, I guess, taken advantage of through Scotiabank, and we're excited to help you in any way we possibly can. So I will turn it now over to Mr. Ian Martin.
Yes.
Thank you, Ashley. And thank you, Carol, for reaching out to us to give us this opportunity. My name is Ian Martin. I have been with Scotiabank for 7 years. I'm the quiet, shy one of the group. I'm very introverted. I don't like to go out and meet people. No, so it was awesome meeting everyone yesterday. I think I was just probably about 6 of you that were on the call today that I was able to meet yesterday. And yeah, we are here open for business, and I'm looking to help each and every one of you if I possibly can. I think the topic today will be very interesting, and I think my colleague Janelle is the best one to present that to you.
Okay, so we'll get Roger to introduce, and then we'll go to Janelle next.
Yes, hi everyone. It's a pleasure being on the call today and seeing everyone. I'm out and about. I got my phone here now, so I'm not going to put my camera on.
That's fair.
But yeah, I've been with the bank now for over 30 years. I'm the small business development manager for Scotiabank, Newfoundland, Northwest, and Labrador. So it encompasses 16 branches in a pretty big area of our province. And I get to work with the fine folks in Corner Brook and in many other branches throughout the district. I'm really looking forward to participating in this call today. And Carol, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us. And Janelle.
I'm Janelle Park. I'm a financial advisor on the personal side here at Scotiabank. I've been with the Corner Brook Plaza Scotiabank now for about 5.5 years. I started out as a teller actually a few years ago and then moved to the personal financial advisor side. I love my job. I think everybody who knows me knows that because I always express it. I always like to go out and network and meet new people as well with my partners like Heather and Ian. And we're just really happy to be on this call today. So thank you.
Excellent. Thanks. So before I get Janelle to talk about our topic today, I've got a couple polls to get us thinking. So today is about rewards programs, and specifically for Janelle's going to share about the SEEN program through Scotiabank. But I'm going to try launching a poll here. And should have popped up on your screen. So what impact do rewards programs have on your shopping habits? So this is not about your business, it's about you as a consumer. What type of impact do shopping rewards have on your shopping habits?
Nothing popped up for me, Carol.
Maybe go to chat. Is it in chat?
Yes.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you. And Scotiabank folks, you guys can answer this one too, because this is about a consumer.
I love free stuff, but I love free money too, just saying.
Exactly. So
you're on the right call, Sharon.
So out of the responses received, excuse me, 80% of you are saying that they have a large impact on your shopping habits. Okay, so then now for the business owners on here, so there's only a few of us as business owners, do you offer a rewards program?
Currently, no. We used to have a point system that I kind of took out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm learning that customers are not so happy about that. So I think I need to reintroduce it. So I'm happy to be here learning about this today.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
I do incentives, Carol, sometimes. Like I do early bird registrations for retreats and things.
Okay.
And I do a not-for-profit donation. So yeah, I think it's important.
Okay.
Same here, Carol. I just offer, like a reduction if you register early. Sometimes there's some perks during training, but other than that, I don't know of any other way.
Okay. Awesome. So I know in our family, my husband is the shopper. I'm not much of a shopper. And rewards are where it's at. If he's getting something for it, he'll do it. He rarely shops at a place like Walmart because there's no points. I'm not going to get anything. I'm not getting points on a credit card. I'm not getting a rebate. We're right now, I was mentioning this to Janelle earlier, and I talked about, I signed up for the incentive program with the Corner Brook Board of Trade. So I receive 1 cent off my gas purchases per liter. So what happens is I have a credit card, an Irving credit card. So I'm losing my air miles though on my MasterCard. So there's a big decision I had to do. Am I going to get the air miles on my MasterCard for the dollar value, or am I going to get the cent off a liter for the Irving reward? So anyway, I'm trying this now for the next couple months to see where this all falls out. So if it's $75 at the tank and I put in 40 liters, when my invoice from Irving comes in for my credit card, it'll be $74.60. I'll get 40 cents off. And so I'll be, interested to see that. Now, as an Air Miles person, Irving right now has the Hometown Rewards app, and my husband does a daily spin to win. So he's spinning to win. Yesterday, I got 6 cents off. So, that was significant. It's all he does is he has to go into the app and click on spin, and he gets a reward, and there's an incentive there to do that. So I can say in our household, points drive us. So it's something that we look at as a consumer, and so when Ian and I were talking about this topic, and I thought, what, I think others as consumers, I think we all sort of are aware of it, but as a business owner, shifting that thinking into what can we do as a business owner if it works. So with that, Janelle, I'm going to turn it to you. I think you've been appointed the person to chat with.
Yes, I've been voluntold by Ian. But I am pretty well versed in our SCENE program since our new program that launched last summer, so summer of 2022, and it's currently still in the works. So this is something that is a growing project for the bank. I think points overall, whether it's SCENE or not, really drives people to shop for them is because right now we all know the cost of living, right? It's through the roof. Save money where you can. Whether it's incentives or points, it all works the same. Save where you can. So that really drives people when they're going out to shop. So I think a lot of people, especially non-Scotiabank customers before, might think seen equals movies. We're really trying to clear that mentality because we were just really, when people thought about Scotiabank and points, seen points, yeah, you saw it when you went to Cineplex. And I'm going to be honest, I'll be transparent. That's not a great bonus points program. So I couldn't have been happier last summer, last July, I believe, when they brought it to our attention. They're going to be switching this up. And we had this giant meeting over some different big names that we're going to start launching scene points. Some Air Miles shoppers were not too happy because we had Lottens, we had Sobeys, but I was really happy to know when I went shopping there myself, as someone who did collect Air Miles in the past as well, that the point system that they did really had the acceleration there. So you're not getting minor points when you go to shop at these places. So basically, I'm going to touch on first what is Scene and what can you use Scene for. So my favorite part about Scene is that you don't have to be a traveler to use them. So you can use these points for groceries, gas, electronic gift cards. You can get gift cards mailed to you. You can use it for travel if you want, cash back into your bank account, charge back accounts to like a purchase that you made on your credit card. And we have a number of different products that will give you accelerated points, which I call double dipping. So people may be aware of Lawton points or Sobeys. You can get the black scene cards, like at the checkouts if you're not a Scotiabank customer. That's great. You'll still get the accelerated points. Like if you go to Sobeys and you want to get like 2 milk, you might get 500 points. Things like that. But what you really want to make sure of is that you're getting that acceleration. And that's where our point system comes in. So I do have a couple of different examples here of our points and our products for the points. So first off, we have a Scotiabank American Express card where you get 2 scene points for every dollar spent on groceries, food, dining, entertainment, etc. And then 1 scene point for all other eligible purchases for $1. Our Scotiabank Gold is by far our quickest accelerant, where it's 6 scene points for every $1 spent on any sort of grocery accelerants, and then 5 points for every $1 spent on food delivery, dining, entertainment, etc. Then we have our Platinum American Express, where it's 2 scene points for every $1 spent. And then most of our other accelerants are 1 for $1 spent. And I think the best part about that is that you can get these double dippings without really, I guess you're just going to shop at these places anyways. So you're not really thinking of it. If you use your card as well, we also, for people who don't like using credit cards, because there are people who don't like using credit cards, our debit cards with our 5 main accounts that we have here at Scotiabank also will give 1 point for every $5 spent on your debit card for free. That's built into these new 5 accounts, including if anybody has kids, which I love. If you're 14 years or older, you're also eligible for these Scene Point programs. And that's a big seller for our Getting There accounts because those are free accounts anyways for our youth. We know that our youth, you know, they don't want to be spending any sort of monthly fees on their accounts. Their parents don't want to be paying for them. So it is a free account. And as soon as I always joke around, your 14th birthday comes around, come on over for a scene card. And I actually do have people that come here on their kids, like, you know, the week of their birthday and they get their own debit card. And sometimes they do use it for the movies, or sometimes they use it to save up a little bit of money and get the cash back for a gift card online if they go to St. John's with their parents. And like, I mean, they can use ultimate dining gift cards, basically anything they want. They can even go to like different suppliers in the mall, like Old Navy. They can get clothes. There isn't really any limitations to what you use this card for. I do love that we have our suppliers, our third party, is really open. Like Toys R Us is someone We have, like I said, Old Navy. We have Sobeys if you just want to use it for groceries. A lot of kids here in Corner Brook, our grocery store is right down the road from the school. So a lot of them actually use it for lunch. So they build up some points and use it for to go out to lunch with their friends. I hear that a lot in my office, which is just something really cool. You don't expect kids to say, I'm going to use my points at the grocery store, but they really do. They want to go down and have like a little chicken finger dinner. And it's just a little great program that they had. Basically, when it comes to any sort of fees associated with it, our fees are really credit card based. And that would be basically those high accelerant credit cards. You would get an annual fee on them, and I can certainly give Carol the documentation of some of our cards. I do have 2 different handouts I can give you. One would give fees on cards with the acceleration, as well as comparison to our partners to see, like, um, different points for like Sobeys, and we have comparison for our competitors as well to see what the difference is between the Air Miles programs, a TD Aero plan, things like that. So just to see what fits your lifestyle, because what it comes down to is what card's right for you, whether it's Scene or whether it's another card. We just want to make sure you're looked after and we're offering you a point system that works. And I'm always open for questions, and if I can't get the answer to them, I always say, send me the question anyways, because I'll find out the answer. I have quite a big team for a Scene that can answer the questions really quickly. And does
Awesome.
anybody have any
Janelle,
questions there now?
I
Oh
just
yeah,
have a
go ahead,
statement
Ian.
there. The thing I
Yeah,
like about it is, so anybody can have a black Scene card. Scene is its
yeah.
own program. But if you're a part of Scotiabank, you get the Scene points from the black card, plus you're adding them with every card that you have with Scotiabank. So if you become a Scotiabank member, you scan your Scene card or you present your Scene card, plus you pay for it on your debit card, your Visa card, your Amex, you will get those points doubled as well. So that's the benefit for being a part of Scotiabank versus being a part of just Scene.
Right.
So
And
that's
do
where
either of you
Janelle was
know?
talking about the double points, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's certainly the behavior that drives hubby and I. I'll be honest, that's what we do. We double dip all the time. Do either of you know how, say, someone like Andrea could offer Scene at her store? How do you become one of the reward offers? I don't know what you even call that.
I'll answer that like Ian answers some questions, that it's a little bit above my pay grade to ask for it, but it is something I can ask and see like when they would be offering it or if they will be offering it to small business owners ahead of time. So that is something that I can actually go off and ask. So our Atlantic rep right now is Lorna, who is another advisor here in Newfoundland, and she can go up the chain and ask kind of the big wigs, we'll say, if they plan on offering those for small businesses as well. I think it would be a great idea. I just don't know kind of the time horizon for that.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
do
because I
know
think
Home
that would
Hardware
be,
just joined us.
what's that, Ian? Sorry?
So I do know Home Hardware just joined the Scene program. So I believe
Okay.
they were Aeroplan or something like that,
They
and
were,
they
yeah.
just recently joined this Scene program, and they're telling us there are more to come. So I mean, it is definitely something that we can ask. I'm sure Janelle has a good contact there that she can get the answer for us, and I can send along to you, Carol.
Perfect.
It would be, yeah, it'd be
Absolutely.
very beneficial to know if that's something that even my store could avail of, right? And I'm wondering, like, is there a certain, annual or yearly revenue that your store has to basically, there's probably a bench point of what you got to be bringing in yearly to maybe partake in it. But I'd be curious to find out if my store would be eligible.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely, because I agree with you, Andrea. I think you would find people would go to you to get the small item versus the dollar store or somewhere else if there were points.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just shown on, a very quick poll of a dozen people that, many of you indicated as consumers that that's a driver of shopping behavior. So, and as you alluded to, Andrea, people are looking for the points that you used to have. So, although it was a bit of a weird system, the way those points worked before. So
it was a bit weird, but it did motivate people to come in the store. So, but I'm curious if something else would work, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Janelle?
Well, now with that, Andrea, in your store, so I do know that local businesses don't always like to accept Visa, MasterCard because it eats into their profit. So cash and debit is sometimes king. However, customers that do come in and just use their Scene Visa to pay for things, they are collecting Scene points without even having the Scene card present. Just by using that Visa that's in their wallet, they do get Scene points as well, right?
Oh, that's good to know. I didn't realize that. Perfect.
Yeah, for us, it's, as I mentioned, hate to say it, guys, but we're Air Miles folks, and we've got the Air Miles MasterCard. So, I mean, you go to Mary Brown's, are we going to pay cash? No, throw it on the MasterCard. You get Air Miles.
I was just going to build on the conversation too with regards to for business owners in particular. We do offer under small business a credit card that allows them to collect Scene points as they use their credit card for the business, and they can combine them with Scene points they've earned through their personal cards as well when they go to use them. And the ease of use is so good for this program. I travel every year down south somewhere, and we always use our points that we accumulate, our Scene Plus points. And there's no restriction on what airline you fly. You can book it yourself or use our travel partner. And so there's no limit in the seats on a plane like some of our competitors may have in terms of how you can use your points for some others. There's no restrictions like that with ours.
That's good. So that's on a purchasing program. As a business owner, we may be able to earn them that way. That's good to know.
I'll just chime in as well there because a great point that Roger had mentioned. And when I think about, I've got family members that's in the fishing industry. And when I explain this card to these individuals who you can only imagine how much gas they go through, during the fishing season. And the accelerants that Janelle was talking about is just astronomical when they gas up at these partnership locations. And my sister is one of them, and she just told me she earned enough points just this season to travel to Florida. And the beauty part of it is, and I know this firsthand because we travel to Florida on these points as well, is the ease of use. As Roger had just mentioned, it's, I got the concierge service to book it for me because I'm not a frequent traveler. And, calling the number on the back of your card, they had me hooked up. Even paid for my rent-a-car with the points on it. And I'll share this little story. The insurance that was on the card that I had that carries the Scene points, we were unlucky enough, just by luck, that the window smashed in the rent-a-car. And I called the number on the back of the card once again, and it was covered. That insurance actually covered the rent-a-car windshield. So there's so much benefits to not only Scene, but the cards itself. It's just a vast amount of information. But it's huge benefits for small business owners. And when we think about Home Hardware as a new partner that just came on stream, for those of our businesses that are looking to renovate, and you go to Home Hardware and you're buying, not only for your business but for your home, think about the accelerants that you can get from that. And so it's truly amazing when you couple it all together, that how powerful this program is. My only wish was that they changed the name, because I think Air Miles is so successful because of the name, and because as a past Air Miles card holder myself, this program honestly is head and shoulders so much more easier to use and to travel. It's a play on the name. So the big takeaway that I'd love to leave with the group is that Scene is it's no longer Cineplex. It's not just movies. It's so much more. And with our partnerships with Lawtons and Sobeys, it's a powerhouse. And I think what you'll see is that this is definitely going to be taking over the reward space.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I think there is, you're right, Ashley, there's still that attachment to seeing as movies. But I know as I do have a scene card, so I mean we do collect those points and find those vendors that offer them for sure. And having just gone to a movie, my husband and I went to opening night of Greek Wedding 3. The two of us with three other people in the theater on a Friday night, on opening night, we had pick a seats. I can tell you, you need your points. It's not the tickets you got to worry about paying, it's the friggin' food. It was a fortune to pay for food. And my daughters had given me a gift card for Mother's Day that was sitting in my pocket waiting for a movie to come. Well, I'll tell you, they gave me a significant gift card and it still didn't cover with scene all the food. So, but anyway, it was a fun night out. But yeah, I think it is. You're right, Ashley. It's getting that brand awareness that it's much more than just the movies. I get it at Swiss Chalet in St. John's. That's where I like to use it.
Carol, when you use it in Swiss Chalet, also, do you go on the app and register for accelerated points as well? So not
No.
only in the app, so I strongly suggest whenever I go to St. John's, before I go out, I look on, there's something called offers on the very bottom of the app, and it says
Okay.
sometimes you can get 5 times your points if you pay with a credit card, say if you're not using points. But, or if you're spending any money whatsoever, you can scan your Black Scene card and also get 5 times the points or 10 times the points. I left Montana's after a $30 meal with 850 points. The last time I was there because of so many accelerants and then using my credit card and like everything on top of it. And I made a joke. I was like, what? That seems so crazy to me, but like it does really work. And I will mention as well, because with third-party suppliers, a great, like kind of hand in hand is 1,000 points for every $10. Okay. So sometimes you will get third parties that will be like, 2,000 points for $10. That's not really a great deal in my opinion. So $10 will be about 1,000 points.
Okay.
And that is a good way to use it. And I will touch on, Ashley mentioned insurance. Some of our credit cards do offer as well as travel insurance and lounge access as well. So with our travel insurance packages that can do, if you're booking over 75% of your travel on your card, it can cover flight delays of over 4 hours, like any sort of spending you're doing, like food, that sort of thing, charge it on your card, lost luggage, up to $1,000, cancellations, like cancellations with your flight, things like that. Really great coverage. I've used before. I think I've had my accelerated card, and I mentioned some have annual fees, and I was one of those people. I'm like, is it going to be worth the annual fee? So what I always do is I try it for a year. And some of our actual accounts, our regular checking accounts, will offer you to try a card for free for a year, depending if you're like a new Scotiabank customer, that sort of thing, which is really great. And it will waive the fee for 1 year. And I always say, even if it doesn't waive the fee, try it for a year, see if the points that you have gotten will surpass your annual fee. In my books, if it does, you're up money. So for an example, for myself, I did book 2 trips now on my card. Now I didn't use my points to book it because I want to save for a European trip, but I did 2 minor trips and I used it every day-to-day purchase. And since I've had my card in January, I have over $1,400 in points saved up towards a larger trip. I know. Now I'm a little bit crazy. I like I said, I use it for everything, and it is one of our higher feed cards. But I'm talking about acceleration. So a big thing about the scene points is that right now they're new. They want it to be in your face. Sobeys wants it to be in your face. They're going to try to give you points where they can. So just keep that in mind. And I'm always feeling really confident when I travel that if something goes wrong, I can actually write our insurance company here to, if there's my flight's delayed, something like that, and I'm covered, or even a hotel cost if it's overnight. So yes, I'll have to front it, but like at least when I get back, I could put in a claim for that. So I do feel a lot of security with that. And for me, that's worth it. So it's whatever is worth it for you is a card that you kind of should look into.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
I'd like to add one more thing, if you wouldn't mind.
Yes, go ahead.
A lot of people overlook this, but this is not just Scotiabank credit cards, but many credit cards out there in the market. They offer a 90-day protection in case you buy something with the card and it's lost, stolen, or damaged. The insurance company will often replace it. My personal experience, my son had a DS. He bought it the first weekend. He dropped it and smashed the screen and got the DS replaced. Another time, I had just put a new shed up in my backyard. We had a major windstorm here in Grand Falls, Windsor, blew the roof off Mount Peyton Hotel. I don't know if you might recall that one, but my shed also blew to pieces. And the insurance company covered that as well. It was $1,000 shed that they paid me back for.
Okay.
My home insurance wouldn't have covered it, but the credit card insurance did. So I buy everything with my credit card, knowing that I got that 90 days of peace of mind. Whatever I buy gets lost, stolen, or damaged, can be replaced.
That's excellent. It's good to know, Roger. I know there's insurance, but I never really thought about it from that aspect of like, I was thinking more of, shipping and things arrive damaged and those kinds of things. I wasn't thinking of replacement. So that's good to know. Any other questions or comments? That's awesome. Thank you, Janelle. So I think,
Carol?
yes, go ahead.
Yeah. I was interested yesterday when I spoke to Ian and met him yesterday, because right now, the bank that I'm with, I'm getting nothing for only my my monthly fee. So I'm not getting any points. So I was quite interested to see if I'm going to pay my monthly fee for having the business account anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I very rarely use that credit card for my business because there's no point in me. I'm getting better bang for my buck using my personal one, and then I usually transfer the money. So I keep track of it that way, which is extra work and it's extra tracking. But yeah, I was interested yesterday when you were talking about the points and whatnot. Yeah, it makes sense. I'm going to take a look at this further. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, you've got. Oh, did I lose you?
Nope, I'm here.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
well, you've got my card, Sharon, so you can feel free to email me anytime, and I will be here to gladly help you.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. And I think, Janelle, if you can find out that question for Andrea and the others, I definitely would like to share that around. So, certainly a lot to take in as consumers, but then also as an owner. Andrea is a retail store, but I know I'm kind of in the same boat as Sharon and Edwina when you're sort of offering services, I don't know. I don't charge you for the coffee break, so I can't say your 10th coffee break's free. What do we kind of use as incentives? And if there is an opportunity as a business owner to be able to do something along those lines, I think it would be great for us to know.
I'll put it at top of my list.
Excellent. Thank you. So a couple of things. I want to give everyone an opportunity to share a few things that are happening in your worlds. So first thing I will say, I'm going to skip a virtual October coffee break. I know we just got back and we said we've missed each other, but in October is Small Business Week. And I know that there are going to be a lot of activities in different areas. And I just think having one extra kind of that virtual one may not be as well attended. So I want to give everyone an opportunity to get out when they can. So Brendan, I'm wondering if I can call on you first. I know you've got startup weekend. I know you've got a few things coming up. Do you want to share what's happening with Navigate? What's coming up on your calendar?
For sure. Yeah, I'll quickly share, and then unfortunately I'll have to step out early.
That's why I'm coming to you first.
Thanks. Yeah, so we're one of the folks who are organizing Small Business Week, along with the Board of Trade and others. So we're going to have a really cool session on intellectual property for small businesses and entrepreneurs. And that's going to be on October 19th. Maybe I could send that over to you, Carol, if you would be interested in sharing it. That's
Yeah.
going to be at the Center for Research and Innovation in Corner Brook. We'll probably have a online link, to join for folks outside of Corner Brook. And then we also have our Jose Lamb startup event, which is a kind of a startup weekend style event that is, kind of our big event of the year, October 20th and 21st. So we'd love to see as many of you as possible out for that. And we'll definitely be sharing information about that on our social media and newsletter and stuff like that.
Excellent. Thank you. And thank you for joining today. I know you've got another event today that's happening, so I really appreciate you making the time to pop in and see us.
Thank you, Carol. Nice to see everybody.
Thank you. Andrew, do you know of anything that's firmed up for your region for Small Business Week?
Yes, I do. So actually, the Long Range Small Business Committee organizes Small Business Week in what used to be Zone 9. So that's Bay St. George, the Port-au-Port Peninsula, Bay St. George South, and down to Burgeo and Grey River and so on. So we have Small Business Week happening third week of October, I believe, October 16th to the 20th. Our official poster hasn't come out yet, but today's actually our last day of voting for businesses in our area. And so I can confirm that October 20th, we will have our Long Range Small Business Awards. We returned to in person last year and it went over really, really, really well. So we're really excited to bring that back again this year. And what else can I talk about? We'll also be doing our tourism information session during that week. So that's been kind of a staple now for the last couple of years. Basically, we do a tourism information session before the summer season, so June 1st, and we inform. So it's an opportunity for all tourism operators to get together, and everybody takes 5 minutes to get up, speak in front of the crowd, and talk about what their summer is going to look like and what they've got planned. So then we meet again on during Small Business Week, and they talk about how things went, what challenges they had, maybe ways to improve for next year, but also talk about, what they're planning during the shoulder season and maybe even during the winter. So it's always a great opportunity to communicate amongst all the stakeholders and stuff. And we always get over 30 people at that one. So it's a great event. And the other events are being finalized, but the posters should be up soon on the Long Range Small Business Committee Facebook page.
Okay, awesome. Excellent. I'm going to come to the others in just a moment, but I know as people are leaving, I just want to do 2 quick more polls. So if they don't pop up on your screen, if you could make your way to chat. So some of you know that I had put out a survey earlier wondering, is the coffee break still even, something I should be offering? And resoundingly, yes, everyone was very excited to have the opportunity to connect virtually. But one of the things that came out of the feedback was the timing. And I think when we originally started this, we were thinking, over the lunch hour, people will pop in and out, business owners are busy. We're finding that doesn't always work, especially depending on the type of business that somebody's running. And so there's been some suggestions to go earlier in the day. So I just got a really quick poll on your preference of time. If you could answer that one, that would be awesome. Sharon, what's going on with your world? Have you got retreats or things happening coming up?
Oh, my world is full. Sadly, the World Health Organization predicted a mental health pandemic, and it is flowing through all parts of the world. And businesses like mine, you mentioned at the beginning of the call, this is Wellbeing Week. And there was, I think there was only one thing that I saw there was Megan Humphreys had yoga in Corner Brook. that would fit into the holistic mind, body, spirit approach for well-being, you know, and the physical activity and the dietary stuff like that has been covered, but the mental health component that I deal with on a daily basis, it's it's exploded in my business, and in some ways that's not a good thing, right? That you're sometimes I'm turning away people that I can't fit in, trying to keep my own self balanced in my own world. I don't normally work summers. I usually take advantage of these beach meditations at Pasadena Beach, which were lovely this year and very well received. But I managed to have to work, not have to work, I shouldn't say it like that. I enjoy what I do. But I did work the summer too, because the need is there. The need is great. So yeah, I'm always available to meet with people. I've even done some one-on-one private sessions. People say, are you available? Let's take our lawn chairs and go sit at Pasadena Beach. And I do meditation sessions there, teach people mindfulness and meditation. It has so helped my life. And so that's pretty much, I've got to save the date on November 4th. I've got a new offering. I did some training with a company in Australia called Chakra Dance. So I've been unveiling that and doing short little snippets of what chakra dance is, how it can transform and heal, as it's proven in my life. I'm not enlightened yet, as you can tell. But I'm healing, and that's the whole purpose behind the mental health, well-being week, etc. So follow me on Facebook. If you want to shoot me out an email, you want to get in touch with me on my social media, my MailChimp mail list, contact list, send me your email, send it along. And save the date is November 4th. It'll be happening at the Pasadena Ski and Nature Chalet Park. It'll be a full day. I don't know if I'll start Friday evening, depends on the numbers. So November 4th weekend. Thank you for this. And I have to work too. I got another commitment, so I'm going to be signing off very soon. So thank you. It was lovely to see everybody today. Thank you, Carol.
Thank you. I just popped up another really quick poll again. If you don't see it popping up, just go to chat. If you have any comments or feedback on today's session, I'd appreciate that. Andrea, you want to pop in?
What? Sorry, what'd you say?
I said, did you want to pop in and say anything? Did you have something you want to update about what's going on in your world?
In my world, I'm just recovering from a very busy summer.
Awesome. Good to hear.
But now it's a little bit slow, so I'm hoping it picks up again.
Okay.
About it.
Gifts of Joy, Main Street, Pasadena. Edwina, you
mentioned...
I
will say that I went to the show in Toronto, my first one ever. And I have a lot of lovely stuff in the store and lovely stuff coming. So if you guys are looking for a gift, stop on in.
Awesome. Go to chat, Sharon. You should see it in your chat, I'm hoping. Edwina, you mentioned some training coming up. What have you got on the go?
I did, and thank you, Carol, for the opportunity. I have a number of clients that that I do in-house training with, but twice a year, usually in the spring and the fall, that I do offer open enrollment, which is basically a public opportunity for training. It's a leadership program that that I offer, and it's an 8-module program. So that is something that I'm getting ready for again now. It's starting in November, so it'll run for the 8 Thursdays from November to December. And I do have an early registration, which is the 12th of October. There's a lot of information on my website, www.availhater.com. I can put it in the chat if anyone is interested, or you can contact me. I think Carol always usually sends out contact information after. So if anybody's interested, I do have some seats available. I've got some booked already, and I've just started promoting it. So I usually get a full group every season when I offer the open enrollment, because a lot of our businesses don't have budgets and they can't afford to do in-house leadership training. So this gives an opportunity to the smaller businesses to avail of an opportunity to put their staff into open enrollment training. And it helps with diversity as well too, when you've got a number of other businesses that are participating. So it makes for a great learning opportunity. So just want to throw that out there. If anyone's interested, Carol does have my information, and I'll put my website in. All of the information is on my site. And yeah, so that's what's happening with me besides, working with clients, and Fiona is taking up quite a bit of my time again now. It's resurfaced because of the anniversary date, as you already could probably sense that in my earlier intro.
Yeah, fair.
But anyway, and I just saw a message there from Brennan. Thank you, Brennan. He's responded. He was actually involved with Hurricane Katrina in Louisiana. Wow. I've done a lot of research on hurricanes since being involved with Fiona, and just gathering information and looking for answers on how to deal with situations. So I can only imagine what he's went through. I think he's gone now, in Louisiana, because that was a big one as well. Anyway, thank you for this opportunity, Carol. This is awesome. I don't see your poll, but I love the lunch hour time frame. It's great. It works well for me, if it's worth saying.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
For your training, Edwina, is that in person or virtual?
That's a virtual, sorry. Yeah, it's a virtual. So that's why it opens up to an opportunity for anyone to register. So yeah, it's a virtual training. It is a big commitment. It's 8 days, but it is a very intense, comprehensive training program. And you do get a certificate at the end. Actually, this program that I offer was just awarded one of the top 2 leadership programs in Canada. So I'm pretty excited about that. I was actually part of the R&D on this program, and we developed that, a team, myself and 4 other very seasoned leaders, developed this program during COVID. So we didn't sit back much. We took advantage of this downtime that we all experienced during COVID, and we developed this very detailed program that covers every topic a leader would need. So just putting it out there, I really do think it's an awesome program, and it offers things like DISC. Anyone's familiar with the DISC program? There are 3 DISC personal assessments involved with that, which is always a big attraction. So I could go on, but we don't have much time, and it's not fair to the others. Thank you so much, Carol.
Thank you, Edwina. No, that's awesome. I know we get excited about our programs. One thing I'll add to that, though, I would imagine that would be eligible under the Canada Job Grants.
It is. Thank you again for that plug. It is. I have quite a few that have registered for that program over the last 2 years since we launched it. They've been eligible under the Canada Newfoundland Job Grant. And there's also other opportunities too, like CBDC as well. They've been very supportive of some of my participants with funding for this program. So yeah, there is training opportunities out there for funding.
Yeah. So I'm availing of Canada Newfoundland Job Grants to go to Ottawa in 10 days to be a student. And it's going to be interesting for me to be a student in a classroom for a full week. I'm taking 3 courses back to back to back, and I'm gonna have to sit in a room for 8 hours a day, and I'm gonna totally experience what everyone experiences when I'm the one at the front of the room. But Canada Job Grants is helping me with the travel costs and paying the tuition program. So I'm really excited to do that. It's a bit of a tangly process to go through the application, but you do have access to $10,000 per employee per year for training. And for sole proprietors, we're an employee as well as an owner, so we're eligible to do that. So I'm going to get some professional development on and get a global certificate in public participation. So that's what I'm going to be partaking of in Ottawa the first week of October. Welcome, Deepti. We're just kind of doing some open networking things here and promoting who we are and what we are. So if you want to do a quick intro and let folks know who you are. This session has been recorded, so certainly you can watch the recording, but if you just want to say hello first.
Okay, hi. I'm Deepthi. I'm actually a student at MUN. I'm pursuing
Mhm.
Masters of Employment Relations, and I'm working with WRDC as career development practitioner. So I want to like like I'm planning for some startup later on, like after my studies. So
Mhm.
that's the reason I was like, from the networking point, I was just trying to uh, like get an idea of what exactly is going on, and yeah.
Okay, welcome. So we do this virtual coffee break is almost every month.
Mm-hmm.
But next month is Small Business Week in October. So there'll be lots
Mm-hmm.
of activities happening. You're in the Corner Brook area or St. John's?
I'm in St. John's.
Okay, so look out for BDC Small Business Week because there's going to be
Okay.
lots of networking opportunities for you to connect with other people. In
Nice.
St. John's, the Genesis Center and the Memorial Center for Entrepreneurship are great places for you to connect to
Yes.
find out some resources about startup.
Mhm.
In the West Coast here, where we are, most of us are, there's a startup weekend happening in Corner Brook during Small Business Week. But that's far ways away for you. But you can certainly follow some of the folks that are in this ecosystem, and they can help guide you with startup stuff for sure. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Okay. Welcome.
Yeah. And I
Um,
had one more thing I wanted to add.
yeah.
I think you had one session in Stay and Study NL. So that's
Mhm.
where I had met you first.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
that was a virtual session.
Yes, we were doing that. We're doing some feedback on behalf of Atlantic Study and Stay, and you were in that
Yeah.
session with me. Yes, thank you. Nice to see you again.
Yeah.
I knew I recognized your name when you came
Mhm.
in. Kelly, do you want to tell us what's going on with WRDC, if there's anything to share?
I actually Dipti is one of my coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
We've just launched a what's called the ITCF program in Corner Brook. It's actually happening in Grand Falls and in St. John's, and it's a program for women and gender diverse people to avail of an information technology focus to see where their interests might lie after the 16 weeks. And so that's a pretty great program, actually, which is all very new to me. Doing the career development is a bit new for me, but it's very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's where we're at right now. If you know of any career fairs coming up or any networking sessions that you think would be of benefit, please send them along, because I really enjoy doing a bit of the networking to connect for both myself and for the WRDC. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yes.
and I owe you an email that I promised you yesterday, which I'll be sending off this afternoon to connect you to somebody. That's one thing that I learned very quickly. I talked about earlier that there are a ton of people that want you to succeed. I go for coffee. I don't drink coffee. I go for coffee all the time. I go meet people. Sharon will tell you she's bought me a milk instead of a coffee because I just believe in that. Ian and I met up at Grenfell at a presentation. I showed up and then I became a panelist on the spot. And he's like, give me his card. We need to talk. And, it's just the relationship builds. And I'm big on, if there's someone you think I can introduce you to, just ask. I'm very open to making those connections because people do it for me all the time. I've learned never to leave a meeting when somebody says, do you know Ian? You need to give him a call, because when I walk out the meeting, I forget. Do you know Janelle? Yeah, I'm going to forget that name. So my thing is, give me the intro. Then it's in my, I'm responsible then. So I'm a big believer in that. I think that's how we grow as a network, and how we introduce and get people connected. And so if you think I may know someone that you want to be connected to, just reach out, and I'm more than happy to do that. Like I say, I just love the fact that nobody seems to be cutthroat with each other in this community. Like, this ecosystem is so warm and friendly and supportive, and we're going to sit and cry in our coffee with you. We're also going to cheer and drink our wine together if we need to. So,
yeah.
It's a great connection.
And
That's so true, Carol. Oh, sorry,
no,
Kelly.
you go ahead, Ian.
It's true, Carol. I noticed yesterday, just kind of listening to all the conversations going on. I think excuse me, I probably heard the word collaboration a half a dozen times, just because of, there could be 5 or 6 people in the room talking about one thing, and oh, that could, you know what, you need to speak to so and so because he's working on a very similar thing. You guys could collaborate together. So I noticed that yesterday, and it's something that I took away yesterday from that coffee break, just because there wasn't one person that was saying, "Oh, I'm working on that. I don't want him working." You know what I mean? It was so cohesive to everyone wanting to just kind of help everybody else out, and I noticed that yesterday. So that's one thing that I did take away from it. And going forward, I do want to start attending more of these. I do think that I want to try and dust off the smelly stink of banks sometimes that people, they don't like to go. Every time I go in there, I'm the person that everyone say, "Oh, he doesn't give me money." So I kind of want to dust that off and say, you know what? I am here. I might not be able to lend you money, but I can lend you help. I can show you how I can save you money in your business. I can show you that, you're paying too much for fees at another institution. Let me see if I can save you money. Let me see if I can earn you points. The card that you currently have right now, let's do a comparison in what the same spending you're doing right now on your card. We have a program. I can show you what you're spending on my card, and maybe you can earn more with me. This is something that I want that I put in my development plan for this year, that I want to start going out and attending more and more of these meetings, because the community is so welcoming. I find every time I go, I always seem to meet more and more people. Like Kelly yesterday, I knew I met her previously in a previous life, but I couldn't figure out where. We found out, we had a great chat, and it's just something that I'm looking forward to going forward.
We'll get you to be an extrovert yet, Ian.
It'll be hard to pull me out.
And Carol, I just always go back to the session that happened in May of last year in Pasadena. I think maybe it was March. I'm not sure. When you had it at Pasadena Place, and that's where I met my Janice Ryan, and that was my work term for 6 weeks. And it was, without networking, these things just don't happen. So and what I've learned and what I've built from that has been really great. And one thing I'd like to add, if we could, if October is Small Business Month, maybe the session we had in Pasadena for the businesses in Pasadena in June, maybe we could try it again in October, do like a business fair or something to let people know what's out here.
Yeah, I've been chatting with Atlantic Edge because they sponsored it during Carnival, so it was back in February. We've been quietly chatting about it, so we'll see where it goes from there. Because Samantha, who I expected to be on here today, because she usually is, I think she's part of Small Business Week planning committee as well. So I'm kind of waiting to sort of see where some of those things fall out. And we talked about maybe we move it to Deer Lake, maybe we, expand different places, because I think sometimes moving around gives you different groups to be exposed to. But yeah, Kelly walked into an event, didn't know she was going to find what she needed that day. The synergy happened. She got a placement. 2 people were happy. I've seen sales happen in chat on these events. Kelly, Edwina asked for your email, right off the bat, as soon as you opened your mouth. So it's
already done.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, I just think this opportunity, and because I'm so comfortable in the virtual space, I've kind of dragged folks into this space with me. I was fortunate. I was in the virtual space for 8 years prior to COVID, so it certainly wasn't anything new for me, but I appreciate everyone, rolling with all the technology challenges and doing that, because I do think there's a space for this. We don't always have that opportunity to get in the car. And let's face it, sometimes now, even driving that half hour with the price of gas, even with my 1 cent off, it doesn't, it starts to add up to a cost to your business as well. So it does give us an opportunity to connect with folks like DP and St. John's and Edwina down in Port aux Basques. So we've gone coast to coast here today, which is awesome. I know that Kelly
Carol,
has shared
I
a
just
story
wanted to
with
throw
me.
out there.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you can't get credit union, you could always come to me.
Okay. Just they bought all the food before. If you got a budget to buy a bunch of food, sure, because that's how we get people there. And also, as I told Ian the other day, because I found it on one of my walks that he literally is a neighbor. I told him I know where you live, so when he was out cutting his grass. But I know I was just going to share, Kelly, a story that you gave me one day. She was chatting with her husband, and she was, brainstorming. They were going for a drive, and he's like, "Okay, you got to talk to Carol, and you got to tell Carol that, and you got to bounce it off of her." And that's what it's about, right? It's about those synergies. It's about throwing an idea out there or a question or, I need to vent. Somebody will listen to me, just vent. Like it's about, and at the beginning, I talked about well-being. I talked about that feeling of inclusion and that social. To me, that as a solopreneur, sometimes it gets isolating, right? You're in your little world, you're doing your little thing, and you're doing great, and you're doing great impacts, but without that big team around you, this to me is kind of that tribe when I connect with other entrepreneurs and the ecosystem that supports us. We couldn't do it without folks like Andrew and Brennan and Ian and the folks at Scotiabank. We need you guys to be your cheerleaders and supporters as much as we need each other from our own experiences. So that's what this is all about. I think I'm going to give you back a few minutes of your day. Thank you to everyone. If you have any comments, feedback on the sessions, please let me know. If you weren't able to answer the polls and you want to send me just send me a chat or a message about when a good time for you to have it. Looks like so far I'm probably shifting a little bit earlier in the day, but we'll see where that all falls out. So October. My goal is we're going to have an in-person session. I have 2 potential sessions lined up for November and December. November, I'm looking at right now trying to secure a purchasing agent from Government of Canada. So talking about how you can do business with the Government of Canada. I can tell you I have a standing supply agreement with the Government of Canada. It's gotten me business without me doing anything, just because I'm on a list. It's a process to do, but Amy's willing to do that. And there's been Brenda and I were talking yesterday, there's been some research being done through Grenfell on access to training for entrepreneurs in the Western region. And so I got a feeling that might be a topic coming up either November or December. So stay tuned. As everyone says, follow and sign up for newsletters or link on social media, and you can get updated. The recording will be out later today. Feel free to share with your networks, and hopefully I'll see you at some kind of event in October. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and take care.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
so much,
See
Carol.
you guys.
Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Great call.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.